A Girl Who Waited, Chapter 16, Tears and Truth. Niyati's car screeched to a halt where near the temple. She stepped out quickly, her feet crunching against the pavement, and walked briskly towards the steps. The cold December air bit at her cheeks, but she briskly walked continuously, but she barely noticed. Her breath formed soft clouds in the air, mingling with the mist of twilight, as if her silence itself carried stories around. Entering the quiet sanctuary, the scent of incense mixed with the evening breeze, and for the first time in years, she allowed herself to break. The dim temple lamp flickered softly, casting golden shadows that danced across the marble floor like memories she could never quite escape. Alone in the serene space, the years of pain, responsibility, and heartbreak poured out of her heart. Shoulders shook as she sobbed loudly. The grief she had silently carried finally finding the release way. Each tear felt like a small weight leaving the body, a quiet surrender to emotions long suppressed. It was not just sadness, it was exhaustion, guilt, loneliness, and love. All watched silently from a distance. He saw her cry, her face edged with sorrow and emotions and memories, and understand just how much she had suffered, endured. He had seen Niyati strong, confident, calm in every storm, but this was different. This was her truth, stripped of all weights. He knew that only patience and gentle presence could reach her now. After a few moments, he stepped closer. Niyati, he said softly, careful not to startle her. She looked up, her eyes red and glistening, the new mix of anger, grief, and exhaustion reflecting her years of unbearable pain, hidden pain, the fragile tremor in her lips, and everything that words could not. I am sorry, Vansh, she whispered, her voice breaking. He shook her head gently. No, no, I am sorry, he replied, reaching out a hand, his tone trembling with empathy. Yati shook her head again. No, no, I am sorry. She apologized to him. She spoke, and the tears flowing freely, as though both of them were apologizing for the same broken world they had survived. A careful step closer and emotional and embraced her. It's okay, he said softly but firmly. Cry, let your pain out. Cry as long as you need. I am here, Niyati. You don't have to worry. You don't have to carry it anymore alone. For what for what felt like hours, she clung to him, pouring out the weight of years gone by. The wind outside blew colder, the night darker, but inside the temple time seemed to pause. Slowly her sobs softened, and she sank into the temple steps, taking deep, shaky breaths. One stayed beside her, silent and steady, offering reassurance without intrusion, like a steady flame in the middle of the storm. After a while, he asked gently, "Are you okay now?" The Niyati nodded firmly. "Yes, I am fine," she said, though her voice carried a trace of fragility and contradicted her words. Vansh studied her carefully, his voice soft with care and curiosity. "Can you tell me, why do you act so strong all the time? It's okay to be a little weak. It's okay to cry sometime. Niyati gaze dropped her fingers, tracing invisible lines on the stone floor. A small tremble formal in her lips. I take my I I I hate my birthday. She admitted openly, quietly. I have always had to be strong and had to hide my feelings, but it is too much sometimes. Her confession felt like a whisper to the universe, a truth she had never spoke aloud. For the next 2 hours, they talked, really talked. Niyati shared her feelings, her fears, grief, memories, and the burden of responsibilities she carried alone. She spoke about the nights when silence became heavier than words, the mornings when strength was just an act. Vansh listened to all of that. Vansh listened, offering comfort without judgment, making her laugh when she could, and providing her emotional silent support when words were not enough. By the end, a bond deeper than friendship had formed, a trust built on understanding, patience, and shared vulnerability. Once realized that behind her calm eyes lived a storm she had survived alone for too long. Niyati realized that sometimes being seen was the first step towards healing. When they finally left the temple, the city was quiet. The streets bathed in silver moonlights. Once accompanied her home, presence silent but warm, a promise without words. Her father was waiting anxiously at the door, worry edged across his face. Ran into his arms, wrapping him tightly. Papa, I am fine, she whispered, her voice trembling between relief and exhaustion. Her father held over release, washing over him like a prayer answered. That evening, for the first time in a long while, the family shared a quiet dinner together. No questions, no expectations, just peace. The clinking of spoons, the warmth of food, and the comfort of silence became their language of love. Niyati felt a small spark of peace return, something she had forgotten, the feeling of that while life had she realized that while life had brought immense pain, she also had people who truly cared, and Vansh was no longer just an employee or a friend. He had seen the real Niyati, her strength, her sorrow, and the depth of her heart. Sacred moment beneath the stars, she knew that sometimes truth is not spoken through words, it is felt through tears and healed through love. If you like this story, please do like, share, and subscribe my channel. If you want your story to be heard in our voice, please do share your story in the comment box. Thank you.